about what I should do for my next video, and I was like, okay, well, it could be fashion, but I just moved into this apartment like not that long ago, so I don't really have all of my clothes, so the outfits wouldn't really be like that diverse. It's mostly sweatpants, and I didn't really think anyone wanted to see that. So I was thinking about, what else could I do? And I thought about Maya and Owen's my boyfriend, our pet rats. And so I thought I'd do a video about like, maybe if you were thinking about getting rats, like what kind of maintenance is it, are they low maintenance? What do you have to do? What do you have to get for them? What do you have to do with them to make sure that they have the highest quality of life that they can get? So I'm gonna do that. So the reason for like the different lighting is I brought one of my rats, Radicus, in here, and I'm gonna show you. So this is Radicus. She likes to go on my shoulders a lot, but her sister Lich does not. She just mostly likes to lay on a pillow. They're very different in like active levels wise. So we got them at a place in Ashland, Kentucky. I think it's called like Bob's Pet World or something like that, like Jerry's Pet World, something like that, and they have a lot of variety. I actually wanted to get the rats that are bred for eating because I was like, pet rats aren't really, gonna go anywhere, but the ones that are meant for eating, I could save some, but turns out they have a lot of respiratory issues and they might not have lived for long if I got them, and I just didn't want them, I guess, to suffer. So I got the ones bred for petting. What are you doing, baby? You can see your face right there. So anyways, we got these and they're very young. They're from the same litter. And my advice is that if you're going to get rats, get them in pairs because they are social animals and they are prone to depression like, parrots. The more intelligent level of the animal, the more prone to depression they get. So make sure to at least, get two of the same gender, unless you want like baby rats. So we got these. We got these, and we got them very young because, we can expose them to being played with, being handled, being used to people, being around them, and having them, trained for certain aspects. Like, we can let them out and they probably won't really go anywhere that they shouldn't be. But not to say that you can't adopt adult rats because, it's like puppies at the animal shelter. You can train them and they're cute, so you're more likely to get a puppy, but you can also train older animals. So if you see an old fart rat and you like it, then get it, because it might take some getting used to, longer than a baby rat would, but they could still be a valuable companion to you. So these two usually go through, we haven't had them that long, probably about a month or two, but we're pretty much, set for all of their needs and stuff. So my estimate is they would go through a package of bedding, like a normal package, probably about like 1.5 feet by like 8 inches, and like it's probably like this thick. Like, it's pretty compressed, but once you open it, there's a lot more than you think. And they probably go through one package of that like every 2 months, I would assume, 2.5, maybe 3. So that's for two like adolescent to younger rats. And I'm not really sure how that much cost. I will look, like the things that I mentioned that you should get at the pet store, I will put down the medium prices in the description. So they need bedding, a little like hamster bottle feeder with like a little ball. They need that. Preferably a larger one, just so you don't have to go through the maintenance of filling it up that much. and a wheel. They do need specific kinds of wheels because if you get the wrong one, it can lead to them getting caught in it, or their the angle at which they run, like their back could be stressed. Their back could be stressed, and that would lead to, you know, injury and discomfort. And she's sniffing my ear. So I would suggest talking to, or looking up, you know, if the pet store you're buying from doesn't really have someone that's an expert on rodents, because, you know, being an expert in rodents isn't exactly the top priority for a lot of pet shops. Look it up. They have these, of course, there's a traditional wire round one. Those are fine. Just make sure you get the right size. And I would say, if you could afford it, a slightly more expensive, like disc-shaped plastic. It's kind of like a frisbee shape. It's flat and they run, and it just kind of keeps going like a little treadmill. I would advise that because, you know, that I think that would be more comfortable for them, and that, I mean, they can't really get caught in it because there isn't any like wires. It's just flat plastic. It's just flat plastic, so I think that would be more comfortable for them. The next time that, you know, we have a bit of extra money laying around, I probably will upgrade to that wheel, especially as they're getting older. But yeah, the wheel is very important so that they can get exercise, because most people don't have enough time to take their rats out one or even multiple times a day and like patch up every hole in the house and like just let them run around. So a wheel is a good investment. If you're not going to get them like a lot of other toys, I would suggest like a wheel. Get a wheel because they need it. They also need little toys, like usually they're made of wood, bamboo, something of that nature, so that they can grind their teeth, because they're like, you know, most rodents, they have to have something to chew on or their teeth will get too long and it will be painful for them. So make sure to get that. One or two, depending on, you know, how many rats you get. She's just walking around looking. Let me see, baby. She wants to go at my shirt sleeves. She really likes shirt sleeves, but can't do that because then you'll be really hard to get out and it'll be weird. So yeah. Get their toys, a wheel, the bottle, and I would suggest the most spacious cage that you can afford, because, you know, they need as much room as possible, especially as they grow, because depending on what species of rat you get, there's no really telling how big they will get. Usually the medium size is just a little bit bigger than this, about like, how should I put that, like, I'm trying to think of a good like size comparison. Probably like if you fused like 2 small avocados together into one avocado, it would be that size, you know, like a large avocado, you know. I'm not, oh yeah, like one of those larger green ones, not the dark green ones, but the ones that are lighter, that size. They can get to that size, or they can stay small. It depends on the species, of course. And let's see. So a most spacious cage. I would also advise, if you can afford it, of course, getting a larger, or I already said that, a multi-tier cage, which is where they can, you know, run up. It has like little levels. I would suggest that. So that's pretty much all of the basics you need for keeping the rat. But the pros and cons, I would say, are, well, the pros, you know, they're really cute, they're really intelligent. You can shoulder train them pretty easily. Like we have had them for less than 2 months, and Radicus is already pretty much 60 to 70% shoulder trained. Like she'll just stay here if you let her. So that's a plus, you know. Another pro is, I guess they're very nice, like, especially if you get them young and they're used to handling. They'll just climb up, you know, right into your hand, especially if you treat them good, you treat them well, you respect them. If they don't want to be picked up, don't pick them up, just let them about their business. But if you respect them, they will treat you with the same respect. In the limited experience of rat handling that I've had, I have not been bitten. Like, they will nibble on you, but they don't really bite, as opposed to hamsters and gerbils. They have a more frequent tendency to bite, which, especially, you know, for children or someone who hasn't handled rodents a lot, that's an issue. You know, I wouldn't really want to reach into the cage and every time I get them, like, I just get a gash on my hand. And another pro, I suppose, is they're very sweet. You hand them a treat and they like lick your hand, and it's really nice. And they'll sit. I've heard that more male rats than female rats like are docile, so well, these do, but males probably will be better if you like a less active rat, and they just kind of sit on you and, you know, look at stuff like me, me, me. Cool. Can I have yogurt? You know, they really like yogurt. So female rats are more active, male rats are less active. What are you doing? Let's see. A con, I guess, would be they are a low maintenance pet, but also like not as low maintenance as a fish. Like, if you just want a pet, you know, something to have kind of ambiance, like more or less self-sustaining, you just feed it basic maintenance and leave it, I would suggest more of a fish. Or I guess I don't really know if reptiles are low maintenance. I would assume like maybe smaller lizards are, because they just kind of eat bugs, but I may be wrong. But if you have enough time to you know, get them out, play with them, give them toys, you know, just kind of watch them, have like little playtimes, like let them burrow and stuff, I would suggest that, yeah, go for it. Just make sure that you're ready for, you know, a commitment, because, I mean, getting any pet and then keeping it for like a month or two and then just giving it away, that's not very cash money, you know. I would suggest, you know, just talking to different people that have had rodents, maybe the pet stores, and just getting a feel for like if you could handle it or not. Another con, I suppose, is that they have a tendency to pee. It's scent marking, but sometimes I think they just do it to be a dick, to be honest. So if you don't like little rat pees on you, probably don't. They haven't pooed on me yet, but they probably will. I'm gonna put her back in her beanie if she wants to go. Do you want to go? Yeah, she wants to go. So she's in my lap now in a toboggan because she likes to burrow. Ow. So let's see, the cons. Commitment, I suppose. Peeing. Another con is if you live in a larger house or somewhere with a lot of nooks and crannies, the rats could get out, or, you know, the rat could escape your grip and they just kind of run around. I would not suggest it. Like, have a blocked off area, because, you know, they can get lost and they're very smart, so they can avoid your grip. Radicus's sister, Lich, recently escaped for a few days and lived behind the microwave. She ate half a banana. It was an ordeal, but, you know, she's fine now. Just suggesting, you know, they can get lost, and that would be, you know, very stressful for both the rat and the person. So, another con will probably be, you know, if you can't afford the maintenance, obviously. Like, if you are not financially stable, I would not advise getting a rat, because of course, you know, they do need food. A little sack of food, like, it's not too expensive, but for getting the rat, it costed us maybe around $200, including food, cage, rats, whatever. Our friend Michael also bought some of it because he's like the godfather of the rats. Thank you, Michael. And it was, you know, it was a bit expensive, so I would advise it, once again, like a lower maintenance, because lower maintenance often equals cheaper animal companion. And I think that's about it for, you know, different maintenances, like different choices or whatever. My other suggestion is that if you do get an adult rat, respect their boundaries, because if you don't, then that will just lead to more distrust and they won't enjoy being around you and they'll be very stressed and it won't be fun. And also, if they are happy, they will grind their teeth and you can sometimes hear it. It's very nice. It's a sign of, like, it's kind of like purring but for rats. So that's good. That's about all I have to say. I will put the prices in the description once again for, you know, their essentials, including the rats. The rats, I'll just say it here, we got them each for about 30, 35. You know, it'll depend on each pet store, but just say like 35 to maybe 40 for, you know, the rats each. And also, if you can ask for which breeder they get, kind of make sure that they have ethical breeding, because some of them are, you know, horrendous, like puppy mills. They can have rat meals. I mean, the technical term is rattery. So if you could get some directly from a rattery, that would be ideal. You know, a respective rattery. There are quite a few, actually, more than you would think, around the countries. There's one in Louisville, Kentucky. There's one in Ashland, Kentucky. I think there's one in Virginia, but yeah. So I'll stop. But yeah, prices in the description. That's about it. Thank you.